Senate Republicans aren't fully on board with the Assembly's bill to legalize medical marijuana in Wisconsin, but say they're open to compromise. The measure introduced by Republicans this past week also forgoes much of what Governor Tony Evers and other Democrats have previously proposed. This morning, political reporter Darielle Fair takes a deeper look at what's in the Republican bill and speaks with lawmakers on both sides of the aisle who work to move similar bills forward.
Legalizing marijuana has remained a hot topic in Wisconsin. All neighboring states besides Iowa have policies allowing medicinal and recreational marijuana use. On Monday, Assembly Republicans introduced legislation that would permit people with qualifying health conditions to possess and use medical cannabis products. I had a chance to speak to some Republicans backing the bill. They say they are willing to compromise and make amendments as needed, but any changes, including a recreational component, are not likely to happen anytime soon.
Are we ever going to integrate recreation in it? The categorical answer is no. Not during my tenure, not during the speaker's tenure, not under any circumstances will we ever see that.
Republican Representative John Mako, one of the bill's co-authors, says the proposal is meant to service Wisconsinites with life-threatening issues. Mako says it prohibits any advertising or promoting of medical cannabis products, stating this is meant to be a conversation had between patients and their physicians. The latest bill would create a program to register patients with one of 15 diseases, including cancer, seizures, or a type of terminal illness, to purchase and own the product. Designated caregivers can have those products in their possession on behalf of registered patients. Medical cannabis growers, processors, and testing laboratories would be regulated, and the state would establish 5 state-owned dispensaries to grow and sell it. Individuals not licensed by the state would be prohibited from possessing, selling, or transporting the product. Republican Representative Patrick Snyder, the bill's lead author, said he's unsure of how his caucus will proceed, but he hopes both chambers can work through the finer details so the proposal is not put on hold for another 2 years.
I haven't seen what the Democrats might be proposing. Most of the time in the past, it always includes some sort of recreational, and that would be, I wouldn't be able to get that through not only our caucus, but law enforcement would be totally against that. So if it includes recreational, then that would be a sure no, but if it just is different aspects of medical, absolutely we'll look at that.
Senate Majority Leader Devin Lemonhue opposed the bill, calling state-run dispensaries a non-starter. Senate President Chris Kapenga also spoke out against the legislation. He says data on medical marijuana as a treatment is inconclusive at best. Democratic Senator Melissa Agard has continued to lead efforts to legalize and decriminalize marijuana use, including a bipartisan proposal introduced in September, receiving support from lawmakers in both chambers.
With all legislating, the devil is in the details. That is something that we all need to take into consideration with policymaking. Continuing to be an island of prohibition isn't going to be helpful to anyone in our state. If we do this right, certainly we can be lifting up our farmers, we can be lifting up our Main Street businesses, we can be lifting up consumers and providing more safety.
Agard stating the GOP made no effort to get input from Republican Senator Mary Felskowski, who has also been a proponent for medical marijuana legalization in the Senate. Felskowski said in a statement when the bill was first announced that she commended Assembly Republicans for introducing the bill, but she would remain uninvolved.
It appears that, yet again, Republicans in the Wisconsin State Legislature are trying to decide who should have access to what when it comes to healthcare decisions. And I think we need to be really careful about that.
Governor Tony Evers, who previously said he'd support legislation expanding medical marijuana access, confirming he would also review the proposal and looks forward to hearing from Wisconsinites and stakeholders as the bill moves through the legislature. Assembly Speaker Robin Vos announced his chamber will hold a public hearing on the proposal. With top Republican leadership in the Senate casting doubt on the bill, it's likely at a stalemate there. Agard told me earlier in the week she hopes for more collaboration between the Senate and Assembly to draft what she calls a thoughtful, comprehensive policy that matches the state's values in the future.